shit's in the safe. Got me a spot out the way. Nigga just tryna be safe.
Let's get to the sports talk.
Allowed the Grizzlies to score 140 points, losing by 26 in that particular contest. Then yesterday, with Kawhi Leonard out, the Clippers allowed the Knicks to score 132 points, although they did manage to win the game. So, Ramona, are you concerned about the Clippers' defense right now?
You know, I was at the Knicks game yesterday, and they put up, almost 50 points in the first quarter, right? And you kind of looked around going, that is not how you answer after having a game like they did against the Memphis Grizzlies the day before. And Montrezl Harrell, who had called his teammates out, went to work. And Lou Williams, who had always been their guy that goes to work, they got them back into the game, and then I think they controlled it from there on out. I'm not concerned in the sense that they're winning most of these games. They don't have Kawhi and Paul George in a game together with any kind of consistency. They're not building anything. The only thing you get concerned with is essentially if the regular season is de-emphasized for your stars, it is hard to keep the rest of the team feeling like the regular season is important, especially when you're playing against bad teams.
So they had that really big because when you got Kawhi playing 2 games or 1 game. He's sitting down. Then you got Paul George doing the same thing. Then they're going to start to look like what's going on there. I understand he's protecting him. But sometimes, is he fully healthy or is he not? It's got to be something going on there for them to keep low managing him. It's got to be something going on because it would sound like this. Like they winning most of their games, but they get blown out by teams they should be. Either when Kawhi sit down, you still have Paul George, or when Paul George sit down, they lose it. It's like mixed emotions. Like what Clippers you gonna get? You don't know what you're gonna get because you don't know is he gonna sit down. You don't know if the other superstar gonna sit down. Like it's so much that's going on with this team. It's highs and lows. They supposed to be a good defensive team. You still be having Paul George, and you still have Beverly, and y'all still got players around you, Harold, and they can play defense. Like you still have defensive players on the floor. Like how is y'all keeping all these points up because one guy is sent down and your defense go down. And y'all play against teams and y'all lose about 26. Like, what's going on there? Like I said, it's like, what Clippers you going to get from the night to night?
Went on Christmas against the Lakers, well, I remember that. Since then, they are 26th in the league in defensive rating. So what I think we have here is we're going to have a team that, because of guys sitting out and because of just general focus issues, I don't think we're going to see their best. This is, their assistant coach, Ty Lue, could really give Doc Rivers some pointers on this because this was Kawhi, we've seen with Kawhi, when it's time to bring it, Kawhi brings it.
Yeah.
And he takes he makes selective choices on when he's going to bring it. And I think the Clippers believe that they're the best team in the West and that they can do it whenever they want. And where you often see the lack of focus show up is on defense. I think this team is absolutely going to be there, but their lack of continuity and their lack of ability to bring consistent defensive effort could cost them a seed or two. And back in the day, LeBron would just say, I don't care what seed I'm in, get me in. And maybe that's where Kawhi Leonard is now.
Let me ask you guys about the chemistry. Ramona, you brought it up specifically about Paul George and Kawhi and the limited amount of games that they've played. Like, how long is too long to wait for some of that stuff?
I think this is just how it's going to be. Like, they have to wait and they have to deal with this no matter what. I mean, I was in the locker room yesterday afternoon, and Patrick Beverley was giving one.
They need more than 2 games out of Kawhi or Paul George. They need more than 2. They need at least 3 to 4, 5 games with them in the lineup instead of them playing like 1 game, then next minute they playing 2 games, and then that's it. And then you rested them. I could see Paul George because he missed half of the season with a shoulder injury. And he had surgery on his shoulder. Kawhi, on the other hand, I understand the problems that he had, but at the same time, you have to at least get some consistency out of both of them so you can see what you have. You see a little bit, and then that's when they sink down. So you trying to see where it is. Like, I understand you probably have that mindset of just get me into the playoffs and I take care of business. They probably want home court advantage throughout the playoffs. I don't understand. Like, they still one of the top teams in the West, but we need more consistency of games playing out of them.
His epic monologues, like, you know, they was answering a quote from somebody else, and one of his teammates who said, it's hard to figure out who we are because we're not all out there together all the time. And he goes, I know exactly who I am every time I wake up in the morning. Hey,
that's true.
Paul, do you know who you are when I wake up in the morning? I mean, this team knows what it can be.
Yeah.
They know when they can flip the switch. I think it's just going to be a question of, are they going to go through these little patches where they have this lack of effort? Because, quite frankly, they have de-emphasized the regular season.
Brian, do you think that there's a timetable where we need to start to see Paul and Kawhi together more?
What's kind of surprised me is that Doc Rivers has made a decision to not even practice them together.
They're not practicing today or tomorrow.
So they don't even get practice time.
Right.
And so to me, that's why I think I'd like, if, you know, in a normal NBA environment, you like to see at least get some.
Like, why is they not practicing together? Why not? That's why they probably ain't got too much chemistry like that. Why are they not practicing together? That's weird. Like, both of your guys are the main guys on that team. Why are they not practicing together? He already said this to the media, they don't practice together. Why not? They got to build that chemistry. At practice, in games, it don't matter. They have to have some chemistry. So they can know a lot about each other. Like, why are they not? I don't get that.
Reps in practice, but even at the start of the season when Paul George was coming back from his injury, he didn't play Paul and Kawhi together because he didn't want them to be in a different rhythm for the game. So Doc has a strategy here.
Yeah.
I trust him. He's a championship coach,
Sure.
but this is unusual, to say the least.
And, you know, covering both teams here in Los Angeles, this chemistry between Anthony Davis and LeBron James is off the charts.
Oh, yeah.
They're like BFFs at this
Right.
point. And Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are still...
Because they practice together. That's how you build chemistry. That's the way you know your counterpart tendencies of what he like to do, so you can read his body language on the floor, so what you can know what you can do and what you cannot do. That's chemistry. That's why the Lakers are on top, even though they lost to the Clippers twice, but they still had chemistry together because they are practicing together so they can know one another.
kind of getting to know each other, a little too nice, a little too, no, you go, no, I go, no, you go. They're still in that place, but I don't know how much that's going to matter at the end because they have the deepest team in the West and probably the most talent.
By the way, LeBron was named the Western Conference Player of the Week, so there you have it. He's, I'm sure, racked up plenty of those.
275th time or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN.
But look, nigga, I gotta be safe.